Hello and welcome. My name is Maya, and I will be your host today of the Awesome Girls Read Along. The Awesome Girls Read Along series brings some of our favorite books to the Girl Scouts and allows girls from across the nation to read along with authors. Today, we will be reading along with Victoria Can, the author of Pinkalicious. We are so excited to have you here with us today. Today, you are joined via computer or phone and have the option to put questions in the log as the event goes on. Please ask questions to us and the author as we are reading the book. There are also tabs on the right-hand side of the screen. Feel free to explore those at any time. There is also an option to download the handout of the tabs, so please make sure to do so. Hi everyone, as I mentioned, my name is Maya and I am a Girl Scouts ambassador from USA Girl Scouts Overseas. I live in Naples, Italy. I've lived in 6 different countries throughout my life and I love to travel. I am a member of the Girl 2020 G Team, which was working to plan the 2020 National Convention. I have been a Girl Scout for over 10 years and have earned my Silver Award. I play soccer and am a cheerleader at my school, and one of my favorite colors happens to be pink. This is a map of where I live, and now is a map of where you all live. It is so cool to see so many of you from all across the country. Today, you don't need to have anything but your listening ears to read along with the story. If you have any questions, as I mentioned, please put them in the chat. I want to start off by introducing our author today, Victoria Can. Victoria Can is the New York Times #1 best-selling author and illustrator of the picture book series, featuring the whimsical and effervescent characters Pinkalicious and Peter. She's also the co-executive producer of the TV show Pinkalicious and Peterific on PBS Kids. Victoria co-authored and illustrated the first 2 books, Pinkalicious and Purplicious, as well as the off-Broadway play Pinkalicious the Musical. She wrote and illustrated Goldilicious, Silverlicious, Emeraldilicious, Aqualicious, Peterific, and over 60 additional books in the Pinkalicious book series. She is working on more books about the adventures and antics of Pinkalicious. Welcome, Victoria.
Hi. Can you hear me? I am Victoria Can, and I am so happy to be here. I am wearing my tiara, and I have my magic wand, and I am wearing pink, and I'm sure a lot of you in the audience are also wearing pink. And I'm here in my studio, and I have some of the books that I've done. I'm wondering if any of you have a favorite color. I'm wondering, have you read Peterific? Have you read Aqualicious, and do you love the color aqua? Have you read Emeraldilicious, and do you love the color emerald? Have you read Silverlicious, and do you love the color silver? Have you read Goldilicious, and do you love the color gold? Have you read Purplicious, and do you like the color purple? Or have you read Pinkalicious? Woo-hoo-hoo! Now, I'm wondering if you like the color pink. So if you like the color pink, when I count to 3, can we all yell pink at the top of our lungs? Is that okay, caregivers or anybody else who's out there? Just hold your ears, adults, if you don't want to hear it. But kids, let's all scream pink. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Pink! Woo! Okay, I think you're ready. That was really, really loud. I could hear you all the way here in my studio. So if you have the book, you can read along with me or just listen. Here we go. Pinkalicious, written by Victoria Can and Elizabeth Can. Elizabeth Can is my sister, and she's actually a doctor, so she's gone on to do doctoring. And it is illustrated by Victoria Can. That means I did the pictures. It was a rainy day, too wet to go outside. Mommy said, "Let's make cupcakes. What color do you want?" "Pink," I said. "Pink, pink, pink." Mommy put in some pink. More, I cried. More, more, more. I gobbled up a couple of cupcakes while Mommy and I frosted them. They were so yummy. They were pink-alicious. I offered one to Peter, my little brother, but he is very picky and didn't want to eat his, so I ate it. Do you like to make cupcakes? Do you like to put in some pink? Do you like to put in lots of frosting? Please, Mommy, can I have just one more? I begged when I woke up from my nap. You get what you get, and you don't get upset, she said. But I got very upset. You would never do this. I know none of you would ever behave like this. I know that. After dinner, I ate more cupcakes. Then I refused to go to bed. Just one more pink cupcake and I'll go to sleep, I promised. Daddy waved a tired finger at me. You have had enough. Now, when you've had too many cupcakes, do you hang from the chandelier? Well, I don't think so, do you? The next morning, when I woke up, I was pink. My face was pink, my hands were pink, and my belly was the color of a sunset. Daddy thought I had played with the markers, so he gave me a bath. The pink did not come off. My hair was the color of raspberry sorbet. I cried because I was so beautiful. I even had pink tears. I put on my pink fairy princess dress and twirled in front of the mirror while Mommy speed dialed the pediatrician. I'm Pinkerbell, look at me, I'm Pinkerbell, I sang. Mommy grabbed her purse. Just one more cupcake, please, just one more. Mommy took me right to the doctor's office. Dr. Wink looked at me and said, you have a very rare and acute case of pinkatitis. I guess that's not the worst thing that could happen. Just call me Pinkerella. Then Dr. Wink said, for the next week, no more pink cupcakes, pink bubble gum, or pink cotton candy. Boo! To return to normal, you must eat a steady diet of green food. Yuck! On the way home, we stopped at the playground. My friend Allison was there, but she didn't see me because I blended in with the pink peonies. When I waved to Allison, a bumblebee landed on my nose. Buzz off! I'm not a flower, I scolded the bee. Soon I was surrounded by bees, butterflies, and birds. Mommy, I cried, please take me home. When we left the playground, I asked Mommy if I could eat another pink cupcake when I got home. Don't you remember what the doctor told you, she said? No more cupcakes. Peter tugged at my pink tails. I wish I were pink like you, he said. He was green with envy. That night, I pretended to eat my dinner of mushy, dark green vegetables. After everyone went to sleep, I sneaked into the kitchen, climbed onto a chair, and reached on my tippy toes to the top of the refrigerator where Mommy had hidden the cupcakes. I took just one more pink cupcake and ate it. Then I licked the pink cupcake wrapper clean. Now you would never ever stack the furniture up, and you would never reach for a cupcake when you weren't supposed to have one, would you? Because if you did, something like this might happen. Are you ready? When I woke up in the morning, I felt different. I ran to the mirror and peered at my reflection. I was a deeper pink than I'd ever seen. In fact, I was no longer pink. I was red. Oh no, not red, I screamed. I didn't want to be red. I should not have eaten that pink cupcake last night. I wanted to be myself again. I knew what I had to do. What do you think Pinkalicious has to do? Do you remember what the doctor told her to do? Do you remember? That's right. She has to eat green food. I opened the fridge, held my nose, and squeezed a bottle of icky green relish onto my tongue. I ate pickles and spinach, olives and okra. I choked down artichokes, gagged on grapes, and burped up Brussels sprouts. The next thing I knew, my arms tickled, my ears tingled, and my feet twitched. Now, I am wondering, if you look at this page, look at all the green food. Doesn't that look yummy? Is there some green food that you love to eat? Do you like to eat cucumbers? Do you like to eat grapes? Do you like to eat lettuce? Do you like to eat salads? Do you like peas or limes or string beans? I am sure there is something there that you love to eat. I was no longer pink. I was red. I was no longer red. I was no longer pink. I was me, and I was beautiful. So, what happened to the rest of the cupcakes, Pinkalicious? Daddy asked. Just then, Peter ran in and yelled, and you can yell this with me if you know what happens. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Pink-a-boo! Now we know what happened to the last 2 cupcakes. Peter turned pink. Goodness gracious. Well, I hope you have enjoyed the story. And I hope you don't eat too many pink cupcakes.
Thank you so much, Victoria. I now want to transition to a few questions in our log. Did you write any other books beside the Licious series? We love all the others, like Purplicious, Emeraldicious.
Oh, what a nice question. Well, Pinkalicious was actually the first book that I ever wrote that got published. So I'm very lucky that the very first book that I wrote got published. Actually, I wrote other books, but they weren't published. But I'm very lucky that Pinkalicious got published and that it has kept me very, very busy. I don't know if you in the audience have read some of the early readers, but maybe you have. This one just came out about 2 weeks ago. And in it, Pinkalicious is in a band, the Pinkettes. And this one, Pinkalicious finds a very pink, adorable pony. And this one also came out recently where she meets Splash, a merman. So I have over 70 books now. They're all on the Pinkalicious series. But I wonder how many you have read. I wonder if you've read a lot. I kind of have a feeling that you're all really good readers out there.
Our next question is pink your favorite color?
I really do have a preference for pink. I love all the colors of the rainbow. And I feel like each color has a different purpose. So I actually, even though my studio has a lot of pink, but in my home, I have a lot of blue because I find it very calming and very beautiful to look at. It reminds me of the sky and it reminds me of the water. But I love to wear pink. I love to be surrounded by pink because I find pink to be very, very joyful. Pink is actually the color of love. And so it's also it just reminds me of being a kid, especially when you put it next to orange. Pink and orange look really fantastic together. So I like a lot of colors. I have to say, I like all the colors.
That's so cool. Our next question is, how are you like Pinkalicious?
Well, if you read the books and if you watch the TV show, you will know that Pinkalicious is very creative. And she finds a lot of joy by making things. And whether or not that is singing or dancing or doing, pretend, playing up, dressing up, or doing visual arts, painting, drawing, making sculptures. Those are all things that I really love to do. I find them really, really fun. And the more I do them, the happier I am. And so we have that in common. We also love cupcakes. I really love cupcakes as well. Pinkalicious is also, if you've seen the show and you've read the books, Pinkalicious solves her own problems. She never has anybody else solve her problems. Pinkalicious has to figure out the solution. So we just read the book, Pinkalicious, and even though the doctor said this is what you need to do, Pinkalicious had to figure it out. When was the time that she was going to do that? So I also like to solve my own problems. I never want to give my problems to somebody else and say, here, you take care of it, because that's no fun. So I always like to find solutions. So I think we have that in common as well. That's a great question. And you know what? I have never been asked that in all these years. So I thank you for asking that question.
That's really cool. I know I love cupcakes too. So our next question is, how did you get the idea to make the Pinkalicious stories?
Well, so when my daughter was 3 years old, she loved the color pink more than anything. And she wore a pink princess dress all the time, and she never took it off. And we would often go and get pink cupcakes. And she just spoke, sang, drew pink all the time. So I wrote the story Pinkalicious as an April Fool's joke, and I sent it to my friends and family, telling them all that my daughter had eaten too many cupcakes and that she got pinkatitis. And my rule, April Fool's Day is my favorite day of the year because it's a day you get to tell stories and make up whatever you want and see if people believe you. And I find it really, really fun. So my rule is never to tell anybody that my story is not real on April Fool's Day. So one of my friends was coming over with her daughter for a play date, and she got my email. She said, well, I can't come to your house. My daughter might get pinkatitis too. There's no way. So I also called the doctor, and the doctor, the pediatrician, said he had never heard of pinkatitis, but it might be contagious. So I am just not coming over. And of course, I told my daughter, I was like, you don't mind, do you? This is too funny. And so the next day we rescheduled the play date, and I told her that it was an April Fool's joke. And she's an author and illustrator of children's books. And she said, Victoria, that would make a really good children's book. You've got to write it down. And I said, yeah, that would be really fun. So that's how Pinkalicious happened. So let me tell you the lesson of this story. The lesson of this story is have fun. right? Do things that bring you joy and be creative when you do them, and you never know what's going to happen. So if you want to write a story that makes you really happy. Or if you're going to draw a picture that makes you really happy, and you never know what will happen.
That is a really cool story about how you came up with the idea to write Pinkalicious. Our next question is, how old were you when you wrote your first book?
Oh, I can't tell you, because then you would do the math and then you would know how old I am. So, and my first book, I wrote a few books that weren't published. So, but I just have to say, I had a whole career doing illustrations for covers of magazines, the New York Times, Business Week, Time Magazine, Newsweek, Harper's Magazine. I had a whole career doing that before I did children's book. So for those that are listening, you are never too old to do something that you love. And if you want to know how old I am, I will tell you this. My sense of humor is about at the age of 14. Okay, that's my sense of humor. But I am a very, very wise woman. So I'm about 102 in wise woman years. So you average them out.
Very nice. Our next question from a girl is, I love Pinkalicious, but why is she naughty sometimes?
Because I want to ask you a question. Have you ever been naughty? Do you do everything you're supposed to do? Because it's when we learn things is when we're sometimes a little naughty. And we also learn things when we're very well behaved as well. But how entertaining would a book be if the character just did everything right all the time, right? That would not be very interesting. So it's a lot more fun to see what happens when Pinkalicious is a little naughty. Also, this way you don't have to be, right? You can read the book. I actually thought when I wrote Pinkalicious that my daughter was never going to eat too many cupcakes again. I thought, I wrote the book on eating too many cupcakes and we're done. All I have to do is say, oh, you want more cupcakes? No, you don't have to have more cupcakes. And that was it. And I thought she would learn her lesson, but the truth is she still likes to eat a lot of cupcakes. I don't know, maybe you're a faster learner and maybe you will learn from reading the story and you won't have to be naughty. But that's a great question. Thank you for asking that.
We got multiple questions about your dolls in the background. So we want to know if there are multiple character dolls from your other books in the background.
Those are all Pinkalicious dolls, and they used to be made by Madame Alexander. I don't know if Madame Alexander is still in business, and there was a Pinkalicious doll that was made, I guess, last year or the year before, that sometimes you can still find online, made by Yottoy, Yotttoy. And sometimes you can find it online. And they keep me company, and they crack me up because it kind of looks like they're laughing at me. So it makes me not take myself so seriously. So that's why they're here with me.
That's awesome. So our last question from the audience is, what is your favorite Pinkalicious adventure?
Wow, that's like asking a mother to choose her favorite child. So I can't really answer that, but I have to say that it's usually the one that I've just been working on. And I have to tell you a secret. I have been working on a Pinkalicious book this whole pandemic. I have not left my house. I've been working on it, and it's going to come out in a year. I can't tell you the name of it, but if you follow me on Facebook or Instagram or on Twitter, you will find out what the name of the book is. I think maybe in February, but I'm curious to know if you can guess what it is. And that's my favorite book right now because that's the one I've been working on. So great questions. And thank you all for asking them.
Thank you so much, Victoria. Wasn't that story great? In the tab, you can... I definitely think it was. Thank you so much. In the tabs, you can see that there are so many other ways to continue to engage with Girl Scouts. Please visit us at Girl Scouts at Home for other virtual events and video playback for past read-along events. You can also visit the Girl Scout shop for already set kindergarten activities and kits. Follow the link in the tab to head directly there. This concludes our event. Thank you so much for attending our summer read-along series. We hope you have a great day.